Hi, Jackie. How are you?
How
Hi.
you
I'm
doing?
fine. I'm fine. I love them eyebrows.
Girl, the eyebrows, the lashes are a mess. The eyebrows are a mess. How you been? I love this. I love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's
I love
beautiful.
your hair.
Thank you. How you been?
Well, I've been great. I've been great. Just staying warm.
Yeah, it's cold. Where you live? Where are you?
New York?
Oh, you in the city. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, say no more. I
Uh-huh.
miss it. I miss it. I've been in Georgia for 15 months. So I
15
miss New
months.
York.
Oh. How is it in Georgia? Is it treating you good?
It's okay. I mean, I love where I live. I really don't go into Atlanta that much, only when I have to. I'm like 25 minutes from downtown.
Mhm.
So I really don't go if I don't have to go in. I don't go.
Mhm. 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 Thank you for coming in. It's about
You're
time that
welcome.
you join my podcast. I've been waiting for this
I
day,
know,
and
I
tonight
know.
is the night.
You're welcome, beautiful. You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
I know you're trying to read you're trying to read your things and stuff and people coming on.
Yeah. Mhm. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jackie Mcghee. Mhm.
Yay! Hey guys.
Okay, I'm gonna start right ahead. Everybody knows you for being on Key Sweat song "Make It Last Forever." What was it being like featured on the song? Because it came out in the late 80s.
Well, I met Keith when I was singing with a band, and
Mm-hmm.
he came up to me and he was like, I'm doing a record and I want you to come to the studio. And it's that whole I want you to come to the studio thing. You're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And he gave me his number. I wouldn't call him for like a month. I wasn't trying to call. I didn't care about going to the studio. But then he I saw him again, and then he kept calling me. So I said, you know what? Let me give it a try. Let me just go to the studio and see what he's talking about. So when I got to the studio, producer Teddy Riley was there, and Teddy and I had already been good friends before meeting Keith. Because Teddy and I used to have a band together when we were 19. So um, I was like, okay, well maybe he's legit because Teddy's here. So Teddy was like, I'm gonna work on the record. So I was like, oh, you are? And he said, yeah, I'm a produce, the record with Keith, and you know, but let's see. So I said, all right, let's try it out, see what's going to happen. So we did Don't Stop Your Love first on the Make It Last Forever album, excuse me. And then after we did Don't Stop Your Love, we did I Wanna. So maybe 2 weeks later, after I get a phone call and they're like, can you come to the studio? Keith was like, can you come to the studio? I need you to try out something. And then Keith's manager at the time, which he ended up being my manager, Vincent Davis, he called and he was like, Jack, yeah, we need you to come to the studio. I want you to try something out. And I know that your voice is going to fit this. So I was like, okay. So I get there, and another friend was there that she used to sing with Keith in a band, in the local band. And, you know, Teddy was like, well, I want Jackie to try it first. And so was Vincent. They were like, we want Jackie to try it first. So I went in, and, Teddy and I have magic anyway. We work together well. So, Teddy was like, Jack, I need you to do this and sing this. And then Keith was like coaching me through what he wanted. And that's how Make It Last Forever happened. It just, it sound good. It came together great. So we kept it. Um, Not knowing that, what was it? Maybe we recorded the album in the end of 86 going into 87. And we didn't know that the record would start popping, in late 87, 88. is when everything started coming out. And in Make It Last Forever was a single, 88. And then we got like we were up for Soul Train Award in 89. So it was the late 80s, you know, with the whole new Jack Swing sound coming. So everything just happened. Everything's just happening fast. It's just going. We like, oh my gosh, we don't know, you know, what are we coming or going. But we didn't have a video for Make It Last Forever because we were on the road, and Make It Last didn't need a video because it
Mm-hmm.
went up on the chart so fast. And then,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it topped, you know, top 10 Billboard, but then it went to number 2, and it was like, uh-oh, now we got another smash, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just great from there, you know. It was just a whole
Mm-hmm.
bunch of work, whole lot of work, whole lot of work.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mhm. What was the best moments of you performing with Keith Sweat?
um we had a lot of good moments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the best shows. I remember, well, this one show in New Orleans we had. This guy, I was riding this cab in New Orleans, and there was a lot of traffic. So, you know, we from New York, we know about the traffic. We know about, you know,
Oh,
get,
crazy.
getting in the cabs and they sitting there and charging you mad money, and we could get out and get on the subway. So, you know, I was like, telling the cab driver, well, we could just get out and walk. You know, I was like, I don't need to stay in the cab because it's just going to accumulate money or whatever. So he got mad, and it was like he put a hex on me. He did some
Mm-hmm.
craziness through the mirror, through the, you know, through the little rearview mirror. He put
Mm-hmm.
his hand up and did something. And I was like, oh, Lord, he trying to curse me. But, you know, I ain't think no more of it. Me and my friend John, we were laughing about it. He sung with me with
Mm-hmm.
Keith as well. We were laughing about it. So that night on the show, I'm singing Make It Last Forever. And we had like these real steep steps that we come down. We got steps on one side of the stage, on one side, steps on the other side. So it comes this way. So I'm coming down the steps singing Make It Last, and my heel gets stuck in the step. So I'm saying, oh, he put some stuff on me. I'm about to fall down the steps. So I take my shoe, I come out of my shoe, because I'm like, no, I'm not falling down the steps. I come out of my shoe was stuck. So I take my other shoe off, and I throw it at Keith while we're singing Make It Last Forever, and the audience lost their entire mind. So we put that in the show. It was like, you know, the way you make me, you know, we throwing stuff, and then I'm, you know, we just singing, and he comes all in my face and touching and doing all that. So we just put it and made it part of the show. And that actually, I can say, turned out to be one of the best shows that that I did with Keith. That was one of the best. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned earlier Teddy Riley, super producer, who is one of the creators of New Jack Swing.
Yes.
Uh, Um, we all know that New Jack Swing was only around for a short period of time from 1986 to 1995, and you put out an album back in I think the early 90s, Jackie, and some of the albums have a New Jack Swing songs. Tell us about that album that you put out.
And my album came out in '92. It was finished in 1990, but you know, record label was like, "Oh, we got to hold the record," because there was so many people on the label. You know, I was on a huge record label. I was on MCA Records, and MCA had everybody black on there. Everybody, New Edition, Bobby Brown, um,
Mm-hmm.
BBD, me. um, Patti LaBelle. I'm trying to think of everybody that was on there. Gladys Knight,
Mm-hmm.
Jody Watley. There was so many people on the roster. And then you had the subsidiary, of course, of MCA, which was Uptown Records. So now you have Uptown, that's a part of the label as well. So then we have Jodeci, and you got Mary J. You have Jeff Red. You have Father MC. You have Albie Shaw. You got so many daggone artists. We had so many artists on our roster. It was crazy. And so my album got pushed back. And I actually went out on the road while my album was pushed back. I went out on the road. I sung with the rock group Toto that did Africa, Hold the Line, Georgie Porgy, Rosanna. So I went out with them and got spoiled. But I was you know, I had to come back because they wanted to now release my record. This was in 92. But in between that time that that I sung with Toto, I got a phone call from Herbie Lovebug. Of course, that's producer of Salt and Pepper, Kid and Play. He had Kwame, he had a whole bunch of people on his little roster. He called me and he was like, Jack, I want you to help me with a record. And I was like, okay. He said, I need you to come in and fix this record. So me and another producer, friend of mine, Stanley Brown, we were managed by the same manager. We went in and the song was Expression and we fixed it. It became a hit out of no, it was Salt and Pepper's first #1 record on Billboard, on the Billboard hip hop charts. It was a double platinum single, sold 2 million records right off the bat. And that was all in between my album coming out, you know, like all of this stuff happened. So it was Make It Last Forever that, you know, went really big, and then Salt and Pepper. And a lot of people didn't put two and two together that that was me with Salt and Pepper, because I'm in the video. I got, you know, my little hair shaved off, short, and people were used to seeing me on the road with Keith, like with all my glitter dresses on and all that other stuff. So nobody knew it was me. But you know, that was another blessing, true blessing, and another accomplishment in between. So then the Jacci Mcghee album was ready to come out. So my album's ready to come out now, and we dropped first single, Skeezer. Herbie Lovebug produced that, and I didn't want that to come out.
And speaking of that song Skeezer, what's the meaning of like, you know, that song that's titled Skeezer? What's the story behind it?
Well, Herbie came up with this idea of Skeezer. So it was supposed to be a chick, you know, like what they would call a thought now, but a woman that's being a skeezer. So, but the skeezer is the one that she goes out and she's out in the clubs and she wanna, you know, she's just promiscuous. She's having sex with men and doing whatever. But, you know, trying to, well, he did a little thing where they were kind of promoting safe sex, but it was all like a whole thing of how these women are selling themselves out, being skeezers, you know, by them doing, you know, going to these clubs and doing these, you know, back door clubs that are not even, you know, regular clubs that you go to, and they got women dancing in cages and all kind of stuff. A lot of what do you call it? What do you call it? It's the sex thing with the whips and chains and all of that. I can't even think of it. But that's what it was supposed to be about. Now, did I want to do that song? No, I did not. I did not want to do that song. That was a pure choice from my manager and record label.
Yeah.
I wanted to put out a single first, but then after Skeezer blew up and on the box, it was #1 on the box. You know, it was on the Billboard charts, and I just didn't. I hated it. I was like, oh, this is just not me. So
You didn't like the song Skeezer?
I love the song, but I didn't like the lyrics, and I didn't like what we portrayed, you know, in that video, because the video was very seductive. You know, it was very seductive and a little too much, and I wasn't proud of it. I wasn't proud of it, and that's the part of the business that I didn't like. You know, a lot of times we will bend and do what the record labels say or your management say, and then you end up doing something that's not you. And that's why I'm not in it, you know, anymore like I was, because I wasn't selling my soul. So it was like, no, certain things I won't do. And I went, you know, even though then I wasn't living right, I was fornicating and doing everything else like everybody was doing at that time around me. And you know, I just didn't want to do that anymore. And I was just like, nah. And but then it wasn't me. It was like God was talking to my spirit then saying, nah, don't do
Yeah.
that, don't do that. But
Because God has something better for you that
yes,
He's planning. It's like that's not for you. Please
yes,
don't do that.
yes, that's right. That's right. And a lot of times we don't listen, and then we go further, and then we end up being in a place where, you know, we're like, how did I get here? Why am I here? You know, and
Mhm.
you're depressed and you know, you're drinking or you're doing
Mhm.
drugs and you're about to, you
Yeah.
know, commit suicide. So it's serious. The business is
Mhm.
serious, and
Yeah.
it lures you in, it pulls you in to do things that you shouldn't be doing. You
And
know,
that's what a lot of artists is like, singing legends like you, Jackie, go through. It's like, through the record labels and like, being in a relationship and other like negative situations. They drinking like, on the marijuana, cocaine, and that's not the way.
right. That's
It's
right.
not the way at all to like solve a problem because it's only gonna make things worse for you.
That's right. That's right. You get high all you want, but that same
Hmm.
problem is going to be there when you're not high the next
Hmm.
morning or whatever it is. So, you know, you know, take yourself out of who you supposed to be, then now you're living a this weird fantasy type life
Hmm.
that you know, it becomes demonic. You know, it doesn't. It's not. It's not
Hmm.
a godly life. So you know, you have a choice. Do I want to stay in this or do you know? And a lot of people choose to stay because of the money. You know, and
Yeah.
my thing
But
was
like money doesn't mean anything.
no.
It doesn't mean like everything. You didn't go you didn't enter the music business for the money. You
Right.
entered the music business because you have a God gifted talent, which is
Right.
singing and dancing.
That's right. That's right. And then and you know, but like I said, a lot of people get stuck with the money part of it, and they want to stay in it. And it's like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm stuck in this now. And
Hmm.
you know, then you're like, do I want to live for the riches of the world, or do I want
Hmm.
to, you know, do I want to go and listen to what the Most High has to say for my life, you know, and come out of it. But we put a third
Hmm.
single out. The third single was "It Hurts Me." That was featuring Keith Sweat.
Well, I was
Which
just about to talk about that. And like it hurts me. Was you in a relationship, you was going through something, or you just like was coming out of a relationship?
and yeah, I was actually coming
Yeah.
out of a relationship when I did that
Hmm.
song. Yes, I was. Um, was it me and Keith? No,
Yeah, I
because you
know
know,
that. I know that.
a lot of people, you know, think that me and Keith, you know, were an item, and
Hmm.
no, no, we worked together very
Hmm.
well, but nah, no,
Hmm.
we couldn't have nothing because we fight too much, we argue too much. But it hurts me, you know, when it came out, it definitely was um
Hmm.
a song that I was living at the
Hmm.
time, and a lot of that Jacci Mcghee album I was living. The Skeezer part, not so much, but I was, you know, going to the clubs and stuff when I was home, and we were, you know, getting our drink on and dancing wild and
Hmm.
doing whatever, but not like the video, you know, portrayed. That wasn't my life. But
Hmm.
you know, the It Hurts Me,
Hmm.
it hurts me did really well.
Hmm.
And I have to say that that should have been the first single
Hmm.
off the album. You know, I fought with them about that. I really wanted that
Hmm.
to be the first single off the album and then follow up with one of the New Jack Swing, you know,
Hmm.
tracks that was on there, but they
Yeah.
didn't want to do that, you know.
Hmm.
So it was you know, that the life in the music industry is not an easy life. It's not an easy
Hmm.
life, and you have choice. Now, I was on the
Hmm.
label for 8.5 years. I was on MCA for 8.5 years, and after, I'm trying to think, after, let me see, it was Skeezer, it was It Hurts Me, and then they were gonna drop Something's on My Mind, and they pulled the record. They told me, we want you to go back in the studio, and I had just finished doing a remix with Chucky Booker for the single that was
Hmm.
coming out. Singer Chucky Booker that sing "Why You
Yeah,
Wanna Put
yeah,
Your Hands on
games,
Me."
games.
Uh-huh. Great producer, writer. And you know, I was like, Chucky, oh my gosh, the single can't even come out because they want me to go back in the studio. So I went back in the studio. Now I'm working on my second album, and I'm
Hmm.
working with Jermaine Dupri and one of the only guy that's still alive in Levert, Mark Gordon. I was working with
Hmm.
him, and I was working with Chucky Booker.
Hmm.
Um, I worked with some other producers, really good producers, and I'm thinking, that this is gonna come out and it's gonna pop and it's gonna be hot. I finished the whole album. The album was great, great album. Um, and I get a phone call, and it's my A&R guy, and he was like, "Jack, I have something to tell you." And I was like, "What?" And I mean, we worked hard on this album. He traveled with me. We worked really hard on this record, and he was like, "I want to tell you before anybody else tells you, they're gonna drop you off the label." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, Jack." And he was upset. He cried. I was crying, and he was like, "I wanted to tell you first because I didn't want them to tell you." And then, so I was a mess. And see, this is the type of stuff that they do that can cause artists to kill themselves, and they don't realize
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of artists that put so much into what they do, and then when you get a slump, out of nowhere, and it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean I'm getting dropped? I just finished a great album. The president of the label is like, this album is hot and XYZ. But what happened was, when they start changing people at the labels. So you have a new team coming in, and the other team is going out, and they do that all the time. That's when they'll start dropping artists
Mm-hmm.
off the label. So I didn't get dropped off the label by myself. It was 15
Mm-hmm.
of us. And it
Mm-hmm.
was Eric B from Eric B and Rakim. It was
Mm-hmm.
Jody Watley. It was me. It was, I'm trying to think who else. It was a lot of us that got
Mm-hmm.
dropped at the same time. So, I took it personal, because I was like, man, I got an album about to drop, and y'all just dropped me. And plus I was 7 months pregnant with my first son. So I was like, you know what? I don't know what to do. I cried, cried, cried. My attorney called me, and he said, well, you are $1.2 million in debt with the record label. So I'm like, yeah, I know. And I said, well, so what are we going to do? Because if I want to go to another record label, that money has to be paid back first before I even see a nickel. And he was like, well, let me go in and work this out. And, I told him, I said, say whatever you have to say. Tell him I'm in distress. I'm pregnant, 7 months, and this news of them dropping me off the label can have me go into a depression. Girl, I was like, milk it. I don't care what you do, just milk it. And he went in and he did. He told him, he was like, this is a messed up, thing that you guys are doing to Jackie, right? When this record's supposed to drop and she's 7 months pregnant, it's a lot of pressure on her. She's getting depressed and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
They took away my whole
Mm-hmm.
debt. They were
Mm-hmm.
like, she don't owe us anything. They
Mm-hmm.
gave me $20,000 to go on my way out. They took away my 1.2 million, and it was good. It was like 1.1 and some change. So it was almost 1.2 million. But they wiped my slate clean, and gave me 20,000 and sent me on my way. And I know that was the Most
Mm-hmm.
High. That's
Mm-hmm.
how God works. He takes care
Yeah.
of His people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was upset, but then
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm having my baby. Let me just have my baby.
Yeah.
And
You just don't want to, like, make sure that when your water breaks and when, like, the due date, you just want to have your baby safely. You don't want to allow, like, what you're going through bother you.
right, that's right. So I just didn't, I didn't focus on it. I focused on my son being born, and he came on his due date, which was great. And after he was born, and I was like, okay, now what do I do? After he was like 6 months, I'm saying, okay, what am I going to do now? Because
Mm-hmm.
I want to sing. I still want to sing. I still
Mm-hmm.
want to do this. What do I do? And I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna go to cosmetology school for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So he was one and some change when I started
Mm-hmm.
cosmetology school. I was like, maybe I'll open a salon. And while I was in cosmetology school, I get a phone call, because now I'm still a writer,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
at this point, still a writer for MCA
Mm-hmm.
Universal. So I get a phone call from my rep, and she's
Mm-hmm.
like, I have two situations for you. You can either do the family stand if you want, You could sing with the Family Stand that did Ghetto Heaven, or the Brand New Heavies. They both need lead singers. So I was like, wait a minute, I love both of them. So I was like, give me a minute, let me think about this. So I called her back like the next day, and I said, well, I think that, I know the lead singer for Family Stand, and I was like, she left to do her solo project, but I was like, I loved every bit of what she was doing with the Family Stand, and the freedom that she had to be who she,
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be, do rock, do, whatever. And I always wanted to do rock as well as R&B. So I
Mm-hmm.
chose the Family Stand. So I went in, I sat down with Peter Lloyd from the Family Stand, and he
Mm-hmm.
played some of the songs from our ended up being Connected
Mm-hmm.
album, the Connected
Mm-hmm.
album I did with the Family Stand. I sat down and I did. He went over some of the songs to see how my voice would fit, and he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so hot." And
Mm-hmm.
we did a great album. It's called Connected. The album is such a dope classic record, and
Mm-hmm.
our first single was you don't have uh what is it? You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. And then we were going to put out another single, but they stopped that one too. But we were actually going on the road. We were going to do a European tour, and that got pulled at the last
Mm-hmm.
minute. So it's always some ups and downs. You don't know what the Most High have for you. And for me, I didn't know what it was going to be for me. And at this time, I'm pregnant with my second son. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is just, maybe the Most High is saying, stop. Just, I don't want you singing. I don't want you in this industry or whatever. So I came out of that situation and had my second son. And I started doing jingles for television. And I was doing little commercials. They come on
Mm-hmm.
during the soaps and all of that, and
Mm-hmm.
Oprah. So I was doing like Twix and Colgate. Um, I did a lot. I did a lot of them, and I'm trying to think. I did for Viagra. I did so many. I did so many commercials, and then that you make good money from doing that. But I ended up starting my clothing line. I started a clothing line called Mags Rags in 2000, 2001. And then that started, taking off. And I was making, because I did like denim with leather, and I did denim skirts, denim jackets and stuff with leather and shearling. And one day, one of my girlfriends, she was singing with Cher. She had on one of my skirts, and she was the what do you call it? She was a stylist for Sex in the City, and her name was Patricia Fields. She had a store in New York in the Village. She had two stores in New York, and I knew of her, because I shopped at her store. And then I knew she was the stylist for Sex in the City. When she saw my skirt, lost her mind, and she wanted my skirts in her store. So I did some skirts. I had them in her store. I did one for Sarah Jessica Parker from
All right.
Sex in the
That's like
City.
awesome. Amazing.
And yeah, I started doing some. I did some one for free from 106 and Park, free and AJ. And I just started doing them for, people, a lot of my friends, some singers. I did one for
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine Guy and her daughter. And, it just kind of took off. And then it was going good for a minute, and it was like crash, because the guy that sold for me and that worked with me very closely, he started having problems. He started getting high. Um, he was Puerto Rican, and he sold like nobody's business. He just actually passed away 3 years ago now. But we were starting some new Mags Rags stuff, because we were like, okay, we're gonna start it back up. He was doing really well,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, we're gonna start back, start the company. I'm gonna start my company back up. And he was down. We was designing new stuff, coming up with new ideas for new stuff, and then he died. So, it's a roller coaster. We don't know what is going to happen. I put out a single 3 years ago called If This World Were Mine. My son that I was pregnant with when I did my last song with the Family Stand, our last video that we did for You Don't Have to Worry, I was pregnant with my son, and then he ends up shooting my video because my son is he's graduating in May. He's gonna graduate as a film producer and director.
Well,
And
congratulations to him.
thank you, thank you. He's an amazing. He has an amazing eye. He's an amazing kid, and I'm just just happy that I was blessed with the children that I have. My children are so phenomenal, and he's gonna shoot the video. I have a song that's coming out soon. I don't know when. I'm still trying to get the budget up for the video, but he's gonna shoot that video for this single. But going back to the single that came out 3 years ago, I had gotten sick with my esophagus. I had acid reflux really bad. I have GERD, and it messed up my esophagus. My esophagus was really inflamed,
Yeah,
and it started
that was
messing.
but that was a very tough time you was going through.
Yeah, yeah. And then my vocal cords, it affected my voice, and it affected I had nodes on my vocal cords, and I probably still have them because I didn't do the therapy I was supposed to do.
Hmm.
But my voice is there, but it's not like it
Hmm.
was,
Yeah.
and I have to really, really do a lot of work on it to get it back 100%. But it's about 70%.
Hmm.
It's about 70%. So I'm still working on it, but I do have a new single coming,
Hmm.
and it's a message. It's a message song. It's not, it's not a love. Oh, we got to stay together. Let's get married. Let's do. It's not a
Hmm.
love song. It's a message because now, the Most High is using me. He called me to change my life 16 years
Hmm.
ago. So I'm walking. I'm walking in his path, in his way. So I don't have a choice now.
Hmm.
I don't have a choice to go backwards. So, you know,
Yes. Hmm. Like you was going through going back. You said that you was going through issues through the record label, and they said that you're in debt with over $1 million. And like during that situation, you see like how after that you produced like a great record. As an artist, you're gonna go through like one of the most darkest moments in your life, and you'll be able to overcome it. It's like overcoming your biggest obstacle, and
yes,
it's amazing. It's not as an artist, you're not gonna always have amazing times. You're gonna go through challenges, hard like moments, and you
yeah.
overcame it. You had your own clothing line, like you like put out one of the most top singles. Like look at God.
Whew, I say that every single time. Whatever he had for me, he allowed me to do it and do it great. He allowed us to have number one records and
Hmm.
platinum records, gold, platinum, and double
Hmm.
platinum.
Hmm.
So we couldn't be more grateful. And some people, they're like, oh, you're a one hit wonder or a two-hit wonder
Hmm.
or whatever, but a
Hmm.
hit is a hit. And if you never had one, it's a great thing to be blessed with one
Hmm.
if that's what your goal is in
Hmm.
life, because a lot of people don't understand that the Most High he doesn't have to let you do this. He doesn't have to let you, it's
Uh-huh.
only a handful that really make it and become big. And then when you do become big, it's a lot of selling of your soul.
Hmm.
So, you know, I know so many people that wish they did just what I was able to accomplish, but it wasn't me. It was the Most High doing what he allowed me to do. It had nothing to do with me, So we always quick to, somebody's always, well, that person only got one hit, or that person only got. No, it doesn't matter what they have. A hit is a hit. A hit record is a hit record, and especially if it's a classic. Make it last forever. I have to say, I thank the Most High every day. Make It Last Forever is a classic record, and it's still around 33 years later. It's still
Uh-huh.
playing like
Hmm.
it came
Hmm.
out yesterday.
Yes, yes. Hmm.
So yeah, we can't, we can only just be grateful, and
Hmm.
that's it. We just be grateful and just thank you, thank you. then I'm still
Mhm.
getting a check. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yep. Yeah. Like it just came out. Like it just came out.
like it came out. Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
speaking of fashion, you have your own closet called Jackie's Closet. Tell us about that.
Well, Jackie's Closet is crazy because it's not even about my closet and it's not about fashion. I mean, what I did originally start Jackie's Closet um a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I think 2 or 3 years ago, I started Jackie's Closet, and it was supposed to be about, putting clothes together, whether they were from the thrift store or from sales or whatever. But then when I was ready to do Jackie's Closet again, on my spirit, it was like, don't do it about your closet, do it about
Mhm.
your life. Do it about healing things that's in your closet that you're hiding or people are hiding. Do Jackie's Closet about, you know, get other artists to come on to talk about what they've been through and what they have hidden from,
Mhm.
from the world about their lives and what they have
Mhm.
been going through. Because we got to remember that everybody struggles and we don't know each other's struggle. So
Mhm.
everybody has a story. And especially if you're walking with the Most High, you're going to have a testimony. You're going to have some type of testimony. So Jackie's Closet
Mhm.
is about, healing and testimonies. That's what it's about for me. So when I have people on, I'm like, it's not about my closet because my closet don't mean anything. Because a year and 3 months ago, I didn't have a closet.
Mhm.
I was homeless. I was living from house to house for 7 years. So you don't know, what the Most High is going to do for your life. All you can do is take what He has given you and what He has
Mhm.
blessed you with, and take it as far as you can to help other people and to let people know that they're not hurting by themselves. That we all are hurting together. We're gonna get through this together. We'll
Mhm.
pray together. We'll do what we need to do together. As
Mhm.
long as we have a support system. So,
Mhm.
and that's what we're supposed to do. We are a village. We are a people, a nation, and a nation that is divided amongst itself cannot stand. But as long as we come together and we stand together, that makes us even more powerful, and not coming at each other trying to break each other down, and I have more than you and I'm better than you, and
Yeah.
all of that stuff is that's not godly. It's
Uh-huh.
not of the Most High.
Uh-huh. Don't be arrogant. Don't
That's
put
right.
each other down. Don't think that you're better than everybody because everybody is not like you.
That's right. That's right. And you got to let people live, and let them live to experience. But if you experience something that you can help people with,
Mhm.
by keeping them from having to go through that
Mhm.
experience, you share your testimonies. And that's the whole
Mhm.
point of sharing, your testimonies, and not pointing fingers, and wanting to be, there for
Mhm.
people.
Mhm.
So
Yep. No,
yeah.
okay. You're single. If this world were mine that you put out a couple of years ago, tell us the story behind that song.
If this were mine, it wasn't a song like, oh, I'm in love, I'm about to die type of thing. I'm separated from my husband. I've been separated for 8 years. We've been not living in the same house. Um, we haven't been dealing with each other probably for the last
Mhm.
um 2 years now, and it's I don't know. If this were mine, is just a love song
Mhm.
about when you want to give the person that you love everything that you have, just all of you,
Mhm.
and you want to give them the world. You want to be
Mhm.
there for them. You
Mhm.
want to be that ideal love for that person, or you be that ideal love for the person.
Mhm.
um and it just talks about, I give you everything. I'll give you the
Mhm.
world. If that's what you want, I'll give
Mhm.
you everything I can. But you know with that also comes boundaries. You still have to give yourself boundaries to where, and this is in real life, this is not about the
Mhm.
record.
Yeah.
It's not about the record, it's about real life. You have to give
Mhm.
yourself boundaries to where you're not making a person an idol.
Mhm.
Because you can idolize your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, they can become
Mhm.
idols to you, and we're not supposed to.
Mhm.
Your children can become idols to you. We're not supposed to. Everything, nobody comes before the Most High. Nothing in your life should come before, the Most High coming in your life. So,
Mhm.
um, like I said, if this world of mine is just about giving a person everything that you can
Yes.
physically give them and
Mhm.
buy from your heart to give
Mhm.
them without, anything extra, killing yourself or anything stupid, but
Mhm.
I love that song. Um,
And it just had like a old school, like it's listening to that song is like it came out years ago.
hmm it was we did that on purpose because we wanted, everybody kept saying, oh, there's no R&B like the 90s. It's nothing that, it sounds like the 90s. So we did it on purpose. We wanted to, put out a song that sound like the 90s and also do a video that kind of reminds you of the 90s. So, and we did that, and that was the accomplishment of it. But it was a great, produced, very well produced record.
Mhm.
You have singers that put out songs, and I was just so mad that I couldn't promote it because once my voice was, messed up, the doctor told me, you're not going to be able to talk. You're not going to be able to sing. You can't. I need you to do therapy. And then, so I didn't promote the record at all. So the record didn't even have a chance.
Mhm. Yeah.
I might re-release it again, and then we'll see what happens with it. We might just re-release it again and push it like maybe when I put out the other single,
Mhm.
my new single, I might do it, if this were mine again,
Mhm.
and maybe shoot another small video, nothing
Mhm.
big, something
Mhm.
simple.
Mhm.
So we'll see. I don't know. We'll
Yes,
see.
yes. What's the name of your new song, Jackie? And tell us about your new song.
My new song is called "The Riches of the World," and it is about people wanting to give everything that they have for the world instead of for the Most High. But He gave us free will. So it's like I'm singing all the parts, but it's like the enemy, the devil, is talking, and he's saying, "Oh, I'll give you all of this if you just, follow me. I'll give you what you want, and you be cool. You can have all of this."
Mhm.
And then you have the Most High talking, saying, "Oh, you can do what you want. You have free will,
Mhm.
and I'm here. I love you. I'm here. I'll be checking on you, but you have free will." So it's what we're living today. Period. So many people are like selling themselves out for the riches of the world. Everything is I gotta have this pocketbook, and I gotta have a red
Mhm.
bottom, and I gotta have this car and these rims and this and this and that. But at the end of the day, it's like most black people don't have insurance, life insurance, to bury their children or bury themselves.
Yeah.
Most black people don't own anything.
Mhm.
And it's hard. I'm not going to say it's easy in this country to
Yeah.
own anything because you really, even when
Uh-huh.
you own something in this country, you really don't own it, because if you stop paying the taxes on a
Mhm.
house that you have a deed to, they're going to take the house and the land. So you really don't own nothing in this country, and
Mhm.
and that's another thing, that
Mhm.
with our knowing who we are as a people. We
Mhm.
got to wake up to who we are as a people. But
Exactly.
it's just it's sad that you know we're living these type of lives right now, that everything is a shoe and a pocketbook and
Mhm.
a rim on a car, and
Mhm.
the car, and then people are judging you on what you have.
Mhm.
If you fit in a certain criteria, do
Mhm.
you fit in that you can go sit down and have lunch with us,
Mhm.
type of thing. And it's like, I don't give a damn if I can sit and have lunch with y'all or not, because at the end of the
Mhm.
day, not one of y'all sitting down at a table with me with a red bottom,
Mhm.
a Gucci pocketbook, a Louis Vuitton. Not, I've had all of that, but it's at the end of the day, um, can y'all save my life? Can y'all put breath into my
Mhm.
body? If anything
Mhm.
happens, can you really pray for me? Can you really pray for me? Is the Most High going to hear your prayer because you're so busy worrying about a shoe and a pocketbook? Can I trust that you can pray for me if something
Mhm.
happens with me? Oh, hell no. So now we good. We're good. We don't have to be. I don't have to be in your
Mhm.
clique. I don't have to hang out with you. I don't have to,
Mhm.
rock a pocketbook that you have. And it's okay. Not saying that it's so bad to have that stuff because I had it. But when the Most High say, give it away, let it go, you let it go, you walk away from
Mhm.
it. It's nothing like holding on to something, thinking that's what makes you. You know, those things don't make you who you are. You
Mhm.
know, fake hair don't make you who you are. Lashes
Exactly.
don't make you who you are.
Exactly.
For me,
It's
I
like to
wear
let people see the true you
the
without
true you.
nothing fake on your
That's
face
right.
or on your body. And
That's
like,
right.
nowadays it's sad. It's like, plastic surgery, like,
Yes.
fake eyelashes, makeup, like, the raggedy wigs, like,
Yep.
raggedy weaves is like, it attracts guys and like,
Yep.
it's like, bummy dudes, it's like, attracts more females. I'm like,
Right. Right. But you know what's crazy? See, I don't because I've been singing for so long.
mhm,
I don't have a like for me a lot of times I wear no makeup. I do my shows. I'll come on with my little curly afro wig and I don't wear makeup. I have
mhm,
no makeup at all, no lashes, no
mhm,
nothing. Sometimes I'll put them on because I feel like I want to put them on for that day. Sometimes I just don't. But at the end of the day, I know who I am and I'm not wearing no fake hair. First of all, I don't do human hair. That's number one. I don't do
mhm,
human hair at all because we don't realize that this is a spiritual battle that we're in. And
mhm,
you put human hair from other people that worship other things on your head. You don't know what you're attracting to your spirit in your life by putting something on you. And these people worship cows, all kind
mhm,
of stuff. Then you sit up here, you don't know what kind of witchcraft they performing, no
mhm,
nothing. But you quick to throw that, that nice whatever kind of curly whatever hair and that you flat
mhm.
iron is all
Yeah.
pretty or whatever.
Mhm,
Me, I do synthetic wigs, I do afros, I do, like this is a wig. This is not my hair.
mhm,
I made it into locks because I wanted it to look like locks. I actually had braids. I shaved all my hair off because I was shaving my hair off for the video, and then we didn't end up doing the video. I shaved up all my hair and I made it gray, like all the way gray, because I have some grays, but I wanted to give it that gray look all the way. So I shaved it off to do the video, and then we didn't end up doing the video. So I'm actually letting it grow out now. But I wear my wigs, and um, I do them like hats. I wear a different wig every other day. So I want people to know this ain't my hair. No, and I'm not attached to it. This doesn't make me. It's not who I am. I am who I am. I speak for the Most High. I speak for Jesus, Yahusha. I speak on their behalf. I walk in their behalf. I am. I'm gonna pray on their behalf. I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for whoever say they need
yes.
prayer. We're gonna pray for each other. It's not, like I said, it's not about how we look and who we
Mhm,
impressing.
uh-huh.
Girl, please, the last thing I can think last thing I think of when I'm going out is, oh, let me see what man I can attract. I am 55 years old. I'm sitting up here like, you know what, I'm just praying that I can keep it together as long as I can keep it together.
It's like, when you dress, you don't have to impress anybody. Impress God.
That's
Impress
right.
yourself.
That's right. That's right. And I don't wear clothes
Mhm.
revealing, all my boobies, and
Yeah,
I don't wear clothes with my butt out.
because you asking for attention. That's
Yes.
what, like, on what, like, but people would just like judge you on right away for who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. And the bottom line is, and this is the thing, we are the indigenous people. We were born with booty. Even if we don't have hips and booty, then they got big breasts.
Hmm.
It's whatever. But we're gorgeous, we're beautiful, beautiful black women, and we fell short because they have put this in us. They have put this in us so much, and just kept pushing it in. Let them not love who they are. Let
Uh-huh.
them hate their hair. Let
Uh-huh.
them hate, you know, who they supposed to be, taking us
Hmm.
away from who we supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
So, and that's what they did, and they did a great job at it because a lot of us don't even like who we are. We get plastic surgery. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, my daughter's asking me a question. Are you bleeding? It hurts bad. Go put the ice on it. Get ice out the freezer. How did you fall and hit your head? When I was on the bed, I was leaning to the side and I slipped off the sheet and I fell. But you fell and hit what? Oh my gosh. My
Oh,
daughter's 12 and she's
oh, I
good.
hope she's okay.
She's okay. Put some ice on it. You feel a lump? Put the ice. Because she's diabetic, so she's type 1 diabetic. So, a lot of times, even when I'm doing my lives, I have to stop and I'm like, wait a minute, y'all, I got to go check Madison. So, everybody know Maddie, go check Maddie. Or people that's on live with me, they'll say, where's Maddie? How's Maddie? They check on her too, which I love,
Hmm.
that we have created a whole family thing. But back to what I was saying, they have broken us down so much that our people can't even love who we are. I put a video out last night. Hey Terry from Jamaica, I see you. Hey Indian.
Hmm.
I put a video out last night with with I put like fake dirt on my face and I put chain on my arms. I have overalls and stuff on, and I'm portraying a slave woman that lived in the big house
Hmm.
that is the light skinned slave, and then I
Hmm.
talk about how Massa want to
Hmm.
sell me because his wife couldn't handle the fact that she got to see me and knowing that Massa raped my mama, So I did it because this is Black history, but our history is every day. We need to know
Hmm.
who we are, and we need to know where we came from and stop going
Yeah.
back to, we so ready to go to,
Uh-huh.
now I'm this
In
and I'm
February
everything.
is an important month for us.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only little piece of the
Hmm.
month that they give us, and it's 28 days, and sometimes
Hmm.
29 once on
Hmm.
a leap year. But at
Hmm.
the end of the day, every day is our day. Every day is our heritage. They
Hmm.
steal from us every day. We don't understand that who we are as a people. We are so powerful as a people. We are so talented. We gifted. We have great doctors, great lawyers, great inventors, great singers, great dancers,
Hmm.
great politicians that we could be. We have
Hmm.
so much greatness in us, and then
Hmm.
we sit back and we're like, we let them just grind,
Hmm.
break them down, and that came from the Jim Crow. Um, the whole thing that Jim Crow put in place to break our Black people and our people, our Hebrew people, because I know that we are the true Hebrews, and um, and I walk on that. I walk on it. I believe it. The Most High showed me who we were. And I love that I know who we are as a people, because when you don't know who you are, then that's when you become blindsided. And
Hmm.
it's like, okay, you know what? Now I'm gonna go back to I gotta wear my hair this way. I gotta have this way, that way. Like for me, I'm growing my hair is growing back out, but my hair is natural. I don't, you know, and I actually cut all my hair off too to do the video, but I was putting black in it. I was like, why am I putting black in my hair? I don't want black in my hair. I want my gray. I like my gray hairs. So
Hmm.
it's just,
Embrace it.
yeah, exactly. That's wisdom. That's,
Hmm.
that's what the Most High gifted us
Hmm.
with. And for me to say that I lived to see 55 years, that's a blessing. That's not a curse, it's a blessing.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
So,
blessing.
whew, it's such a blessing. So,
Hmm.
I tell people and our people especially, love who you are, regardless of what. For me, like I said, I snatch my wig off in 2.53 seconds and not be embarrassed or anything. I come outside with my hair short, and people look at me when I'm going to the grocery store like, didn't I just see her with an afro wig and she had all this hair and whatever? Yeah, that's me. That's still me. I have no problem. Not a problem. White people come to me and ask me, how how long have you been growing your hair like that? I'm like, this is not my hair. This is a wig. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's a wig. Yeah, it's a wig. I said, I'm not embarrassed. I don't act like that this is all my hair. If I grow my locks out and I have long locks, then I'll say these are my locks. But nope. If you ask me, is that all your hair or is that all? No, that's not mine. It's a wig.
Yeah. Hmm.
You gotta be who you are.
Uh-huh.
You
Yes,
gotta
be yourself,
be
because
yourself.
God made every individual on this
That's
earth
right.
different, not the same.
That's right. That is right. So,
Mhm.
I just every day I just try to be, and try to be that person that encourage other people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because a lot of stuff is going on. And for me, singing was never, I used to cry because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to sing. I wanted to have the big record. I wanted to sell out stadiums. And then, you know, as I got older and I started seeing that the Most High wasn't allowing me to do it, I had to understand his path for me was not that. His
Mm-hmm.
path for me was something different. And I don't know what he has for me, you know, from here on out, you know, what's going to happen. But I know that whatever it is, it has to glorify him. And if it's not glorifying him, he don't get the glory, then it's not going to happen, you know. So I have to continue to walk in his goodness and greatness, and share, you know, my share my story with other people, and uplift my sisters, you know, and uplift my brothers on who we really are and how proud we should be of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
because we're talented, we're beautiful, we, you know, everything about us is gorgeous. Our lips, our noses,
Yeah.
our hair, everything,
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
everything. So
Mhm. It's from our ancestors.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And February is also like, it makes us, like, black people stronger every day, because when we hear about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and all the other, like, black black men and women that, like, like made an impact, was able to stand up for themselves. It like, makes us, like, look up to them and say that,
Right.
I could do this, I could be successful, I could be tough, I could be
Right.
a lawyer, I could be a doctor, I could be a teacher.
That's right. That's right. That is right. Are you from New York? Were you born
Yes,
in New
I
York?
am. I am.
Oh,
Brooklyn.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Are you from Brooklyn? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Are you still in Brooklyn now? You still live in Brooklyn?
And I was born in Brooklyn. I grew up on Staten Island. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was born in the Bronx, and I spent a lot of my years in Harlem
Hmm.
and Jersey. So
Hmm.
I was a Harlem girl, really. I was born in the Bronx, but I was a Harlem girl because
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
know, I lived in Harlem longer than I
Hmm.
was in the Bronx.
Harlem and the Bronx are right next to each other. That's
Uh,
where
uh,
most
uh,
of the R&B artists are from, Harlem and the Bronx.
yeah, yeah, from Harlem and the Bronx. That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah, R&B, hip hop, all of that. Yep.
Hmm. Okay. Moving forward, Jackie. Do you plan on putting out a new album soon, like
Uh,
this year?
Um, I don't know about an album. I can only go with what the Most High say. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna do the single first and see what happens.
Mhm.
And if it's an album
Mhm.
in the future,
Mhm.
only the Most High knows. You know, I'm gonna go with that. If He says, you know, this is
Mhm.
what I want you to do, then I'm gonna go with that. I'm
Mhm.
gonna go with it because he'll make it happen. You know, because when he does something, he does it fully. He don't halfway do it. When
Mhm.
we do it, it's a mess. So yeah,
Mhm.
if he gives me to go to do an album, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Amen. And the fans are definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I can't wait to see, you know, what it's gonna be,
Mhm.
um, what the Most High has for me to do.
Mhm.
Because I have some songs, you know, up my sleeves, but like I said, I want to do um, message songs, and rather
Mhm.
it can, you know, it can be a love message song. I just don't want to call my music gospel because I don't feel that it fits in the gospel realm
Mhm.
because it's messages, you know, it's going to be messages to the songs, like, you know, about what do you call it? Violence and you know, abuse and selling ourselves out and prostituting ourselves and this and that. The
Yeah.
songs are going to have messages to our people to come out of what we're doing. You know,
Mhm.
I'll probably, you know, try to write a song about alcoholism and drugs and not being able to fight that drug,
Mhm.
you know, that demon, that drug, and I got to give it a name, you know. And I'll probably write a song that's, you know,
Mhm.
that's that's uh, uh um
Mhm.
make up a name for a drug
Yeah.
and call it and make the song the name. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I have a few songs I've been working on. I have one called Crazy, and Crazy is actually a spirit. It's a spirit. It's a demonic spirit called Crazy, and it goes from this one to that one to that one, and it's it's like I'm talking to the person, but I'm not. I'm talking to Crazy,
Mhm.
saying, if Crazy had a name, it's you.
Mhm. Yeah.
And, you go from
Mhm.
person to person, and you make people look like something's wrong with them when it's not the
Mhm.
person, it's you, you know.
Mhm.
So, like I said, my songs are going to be, message songs. They're going to have a
Mhm.
lot of messages,
Mhm.
but messages not like what they would normally have with gospel, but messages like, talking to these demonic spirits that
Mhm. Yeah.
exist and that they can't exist if we don't allow them to
Mhm.
exist, and healing and loving and faithfulness to the Most
Mhm.
High, and to
Yes.
acknowledging who, Jesus is, and
Yeah.
Yahushua, and what he did
Amen.
for us, what
Mhm.
he gave his life for us. So,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll see what the Most High say.
I will definitely see it. And going back to your album, Jackie, from the 90s, there's this song that you did a remake on, The Closer I Get to You, with a
Mhm.
singer named John James. John James. Tell us about that guy, John James, that you do, and you guys are doing a remake to this on, The Closer I Get to You.
Well, The Closer I Get to You was produced originally by James M. Tume, and he just passed away. M. Tume just passed away not even a month ago. Um, he produced it. He and Reggie Lucas, his partner, they produced it
Mhm.
on Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway. So M. Tume is like my uncle. He was like my uncle because he passed. Most High rest his soul. I called him up and I said, Toombs, I want you to reproduce The Closer I Get to You on my album. What do you think? What do you think
Mhm.
about this idea? And he was like, yo, I think that's a hot idea. Yeah, let's try that. And I was like, well, how are we gonna do this? So John James is one of my best friends.
Mhm.
He sung with me with Keith Sweat, and he also sung with Toto when I left the rock group Toto. He came in and he was able to take my place, which I was like, yay, because that was good money. And I asked John would he do the duet with me, and he was like, of course. So when M2May, you know, got involved, he wanted to make sure the male singer could
Mhm.
sing. He was
Mhm.
like, wait a minute, we gotta make sure the male. So I was like, oh no, you gonna love. I was like, yo, Toombs, you gonna love John James. He heard John's voice and was blown away.
Mhm.
So we ended up doing it. He did like a reggae R&B version of
Mhm.
it, and it came out really nice. We were happy, and I actually thought that it was going to end up being one of the singles, but of course, they pulled the record, and we didn't get to that one. But
Mhm.
yeah, John James is one of my best friends, and he's a great singer. He works a lot. He works with everybody.
Mhm.
He's been doing this forever, and just a golden, golden, golden voice. He's so blessed. So yeah, that's how that happened with me and John James, um, and M2 producing it,
Mhm.
reproducing it on my
Yeah,
record.
I may his soul rest in peace. James
Yes,
Mtume,
yes,
amazing musician.
yes. Oh my gosh, M2 was such an amazing
Mhm.
musician, jazz
Mhm.
musician. He was also an activist. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
just to hear M2 speak,
Mhm.
he have you ready to just walk in all your blackness.
Mhm. Yeah.
He his house, you walk into his house, everything is African,
Mhm.
prints everywhere,
Mhm.
his kids, their names, all African
Mhm.
names,
Yeah.
everything in the house, like Mtume was definitely about his
Mhm.
people. He definitely was
Mhm.
um a great activist. He fought for a lot of things, and he wasn't giving up. He used to talk to a lot of the artists and um, give them wise
Mhm.
information, just giving us information to us for us to, learn from. And I actually learned from M2May and to why I was able to go out on the road with them when I was younger, because my brother-in-law played in M2May's band. So
Yeah.
I was able to travel and go to some of the shows and watch, just sit and watch them perform Juicy Fruit and You, Me, and He. And
Mhm.
I learned from them. So
Mhm.
that was another blessing
Yeah.
in disguise.
And they were an amazing group.
Yes,
M2.
yes, yes, yes. So
And moving forward, Jackie, do you plan on working with Keith Sweat, with Keith Sweat on like on the new single moving forward?
you know what? I don't know what the Most High have in store for me and Keith. As far as I can tell you now, no, we have no plans on doing another duet. I did ask him a couple of years ago, maybe 4 years ago now. I asked him. I said, I was like, Babyface and Tony Braxton put out a duet album. Let's do
Mhm,
a new duet.
mhm,
People will love it. And he was like, "Oh, I'll get back to you," and I didn't know he had another duet that he had
mhm,
just done, and they dropped that duet, and it didn't do well. But I asked him, and he didn't seem like he was worried about doing another one. Will we do one in the future? I don't know. Everything is up to the Most High,
mhm,
what He says, and I don't want to do another duet with Keith, especially if it's um not if it's sexual, if it's like I want to love you and this and this and that.
You want
I
it
don't
to
want
be
I don't want
proper.
to
You
do it.
want the singles
Yes,
that you're gonna like, do with Keith Sweat in the future to be proper.
right, right. Nothing like Make It Last Forever is such a it's not a song where you just we doing sexual stuff and it sounds
Hmm.
sexual. I don't want to do anything like that. If
Hmm.
it's a love song, that's beautiful.
Hmm.
I love songs, and
Hmm.
as long as I'm bringing the right message, I'm okay with that. That's why I said it's up to the Most High. Is what He says. Because if He say no, it's not gonna happen.
Hmm.
Definitely not gonna happen. So it's okay with me. We got one that's been
Hmm.
around for a long time, and it's going to be around until probably until the
Hmm.
world ends. Prayerfully.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
So
I met Keith in 2016 when he came to Brooklyn to perform. It's like, once he performed, it's like he just left the stage. I was like, man, I want a picture with Keith. I wanted a picture with Keith.
wow, wow.
Mhm.
Did you get a picture?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. Wow, wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's Keith. Well, they do the little signing things at the end.
Uh-huh.
Um, but
Hmm.
I don't know. It's
It's like, Keith gotta go. Once he performed the stage, he just left. Hmm.
yeah. He don't stay around.
Hmm.
Sometimes he does though. It depends. It depends on what they set up for him.
Hmm.
But for the most part,
Hmm.
he usually stay and
Hmm.
sign autographs and take pictures. That's the one thing that I do know about him. He would, stay around and
Hmm.
sign some autographs and stuff. So if he did leave, he probably had to leave because he had something,
Hmm.
else to do prior to
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very common and I understand. That
Hmm.
once the artist is like they perform,
Hmm.
they just leave and like it's like the people in the audience they'll just run after him. I was like, oh my God, they keep, just let Keith be. Keith gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah, if excuse me, oh, I'm yawning, sorry. Yeah, if they have to go like to
Hmm.
do something, they have another
Uh-huh.
engagement or whatever, they break out. They don't even stay
Hmm.
long. So,
Hmm.
and it's not always a thing where the artists are being trying to be funny or anything like that. It's just that it's
Hmm.
the timing and they know okay, I got a show in such and such and I gotta get
Hmm.
to the next place and I have to get there in time so I can sleep, so I can
Hmm.
get up and do radio at 6 o'clock in the morning. Because a lot of times they have to get up and do radio, like the morning shows. And the morning shows are for you to prepare for them. You got to be there early,
Hmm.
So that's definitely a lot.
Yeah,
A
like
lot of
6, 7, like you gotta wake up at like 4 or even before that to be at a radio show.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
you do. You
Yeah.
do. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I used to hate those days, but I
Mhm.
was never ever mean to anybody. I was always, hugging everybody, talking
Mhm.
to everybody, you know, doing whatever. I've always been, humble. Thank you, Father. I've always been humble.
Mhm.
I love people, and that's just my thing. I love people. So,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, you're a
mhm.
people person, Jackie.
Uh-huh. I'm a
Uh,
people person all day. And let me
mhm.
tell you, the whole time I'm talking, right, I can feel my eyelash and it feels weird. And I'm like, did I glue it on? Girl, I'm about to snatch it off because I don't think I glued this one on right. So she got to come off. See, this is the type of person I am.
Mhm.
I'm not ashamed of nothing. Need to snatch this one off too because it was bothering me, girl. Now I can see. Now I can see good.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I just, we got to be who we are,
Yes, yes,
and
be yourself, and
be
like
yourself.
stay prayerful. Just keep
Yes,
good people in your circle.
yes,
Be
yes,
happy.
yes,
Just work hard, and that will lead to success.
yes. Just when you let me say this about people thinking what success is. Success is not making it big
Mhm.
and making it, oh, I can be around so and so, oh, I can be around this one or that one. That's not success. Success is when the Most High allowed you to
Mhm.
live your dream,
Mhm.
and your dream could be anything. It could be you wanted a family. Your dream could have been,
Mhm.
I want a house, a certain type of house for my
Yeah.
family.
Mhm.
And you live that, you live that, and you
Mhm.
got it. That's what dreaming is about.
Mhm.
If you wanted to travel the world and you ended up being able to travel the world,
Mhm.
that's fulfilling a dream that you had.
Mhm.
Um, uh, um, some people have dreams that they wanted to be singers,
Yeah.
and a lot of, because I do artist development, and I used to tell the artists that I work with,
Mhm.
um, just know that when you want to
Yeah.
do this, know that this is something that you really, really want to do,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, um, you have to give a lot of your life
Mhm.
for this. It takes a lot. People don't understand
Mhm.
the background part of being singers and producers, songwriters, or whatever.
Mhm.
So many songwriter producers, they don't sleep. Teddy
Mhm.
Riley, let me tell you something. Teddy don't sleep. Teddy is a night owl. He
Uh-huh.
don't sleep. He will work and
Yeah.
work, and he will work you into a coma. Oh my goodness. But most of the producers that I know, they work hard.
Because he's been in the business for since the 80s, and he knows what he's doing.
Yes. But then it's too, it's, even with that, it's like you're living a dream. It's a place where you have to get to where you say, do I want to die for this dream?
Mhm.
You know, am I putting all my life into this dream, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna give my life up for this dream? So we
Yeah.
got to be careful of the dreams that we do have,
Yeah.
that we think that we supposed
Mhm.
to.
Mhm.
It's like, oh my gosh. And if you do something and you succeeded, you
Mhm.
give yourself an A for effort.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, you succeeded, and then you didn't succeed to where you thought you were supposed to be. You
Mhm.
give yourself an A for effort instead of, knocking yourself saying I failed.
Mhm.
Failure is only if you didn't try,
Uh-huh. And,
you know.
or saying that, man, I give up. I'm never gonna get this. You just gotta keep on. You know, um, when you try something the first time, like when you take a test the first time, you're gonna fail. I mean, everybody is different.
Different. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's like,
That's right.
all hands are not equal. God
That's right.
is, it's like, you got to speak to God, and you say, God, why am I not getting this? You're
That's
going
right.
to get it. He's challenging you.
That's right. That's right. And a lot of times, we give up, and we say, oh, because of fear, you give up, and you're like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. And it's all out of fear.
Hmm.
Instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. And if I fail, so what? I fail. So what?
Hmm.
So what? You know, and that's what I had to get to that place in my life
Hmm.
when my record didn't, when they pulled my second album. I had to say, you know what, Jackie,
Hmm.
you did a damn good record, and be proud of the record that you did, even though it didn't come out. Be
Hmm.
proud of the record that
Hmm.
you did,
Yeah.
so I'm proud of my work. I'm proud of, the album that didn't come out. I'm proud of the album that did come out. I'm proud of the Family Stand album that came out, the Connected album.
Mhm.
And I don't know, you know, who out there are going through anything,
Mhm.
going through, different, going through a new stage in your life, or whatever it is. Stay committed to the Most High first, in the name of his son,
Mhm.
Yahusha, Jesus. And then he's going to lead your path. He said, um, acknowledge me in everything that you
Mhm.
do, and I will direct your path.
Mhm.
Seek the kingdom first
Mhm.
and all this righteousness, and then everything else will be added unto you. You ain't got to do nothing but just pray and seek him. Pray, seek him.
Mhm.
Pray,
Yeah.
seek him. And
Mhm.
everything else falls into place.
Mhm.
Even paying bills, everything. We go crazy like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? When you give it to him, he said, ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door shall open. Seek and ye shall find. And when you ask, and you don't keep asking, say, Father, you know what I need, because you already know what I need. Your word says to ask and I will receive, and whatever, even if you wanted to pray with somebody else. And he said, when two or more people come together, he's in the midst. And if you, and then he said, what is bind on earth is bound in heaven. What is loosed on earth is loosed in heaven. And anything that two or more people come together and ask for, it will be given. So if we come together and we're asking for the right things, um, he will, grant our hearts. He gives us, he
Yeah.
said, I will give you the desires
Mhm.
of your heart. But don't let the desires of your heart be material,
Mhm.
man-made things.
Yeah.
Because, the material made things don't last.
Mhm.
But, the love of the Father lasts. The love of the
Mhm.
Son lasts,
Yes. Yes.
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Amen. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Oh, you're
For letting these people know.
welcome.
Thank you so much for stopping by my
You're
podcast.
welcome.
It's a
You're
pleasure
welcome.
having you.
You're
I'm just
welcome.
looking forward to meeting you in person. It's like
Oh,
hopefully I'll be able to visit Georgia this year of 2022.
let me know. And then I'm supposed to shoot the video in Jersey. So
Mhm.
I gotta go to New York because my sisters are there. So if I'm around, I will reach out to you to tell you I'm coming.
Yeah, I'll
So maybe
definitely
you
be
can
there.
maybe you
Mhm.
can meet me.
Yeah.
We meet downtown 34th or something.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, okay.
All right.
Oh, Jackie, have a blessed evening.
You
God will
too, you
constantly be with you.
too.
Thank you,
Oh, you
everyone,
too.
for joining my life. Thank you,
Yes, thank
everybody, for
you.
joining in.
Thank you. Dilly, I see you. Thank you. Thank you
Mm,
for coming on. I see y'all.
Dilly is one of my biggest supporters. She's
Really?
amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's
Hmm.
beautiful.
Hmm.
And I'm so happy for you for having your platform. And I pray that the
Yes.
Most High allows your platform to become
Amen.
bigger.
Amen.
And don't
Amen.
give up. You
I'm,
don't
I'm,
give up.
I
You
won't.
keep doing it. Keep doing it. And
Hmm.
he's just gonna keep
Hmm.
sending you and sending you
Hmm.
people.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay.
All right, honey.
All right.
Anytime you
All
want.
right. God bless. Okay. I'll talk
You
to you
too.
soon. Okay.
All right. Take
All
care.
right. God bless.
Blessings.